Does being blind mean you don't use porn?
Well,
Right, now we're going to jump into a little segment called Questions You're Too Scared to Ask a Blind Person, right? So we're going to hit you with some... remember, you've got that button in front of you.
I'm not going to press it.
You're not going to press it?
I don't think so. Unless it's just like common sense.
Right.
I'm going to be brave.
It should, right, yeah. None of them, well, I've written these, so none of them will be super common sense, but some of them might be more sort of deep, some of them might be more comical.
Yeah.
Stevie, do you want to pick them at random?
Well, we could just go through them, yeah.
Okay, go on then. Kick it off.
Can you remember how things looked going back to before we got to the 4%?
Yes. I think so. Like, it's in my mind's eye, like, I can still see, so I can imagine things from when I was younger. And I still dream with vision sometimes as well.
Oh, wow, that was a question I was going to ask.
Yeah. So, yeah, dreams can... Because you go into, like, your past memories in your dreams a lot of the time. And, yeah, so my visual memory does come out. If I tried to picture, like, the Chelsea shirt from 2005, I can conceptualise it in my head. It's not clear or anything, but, yeah it's there.
How clear, when you envision these things, how clear are colours? Because I would think if I was you, I was blind for this period of time, colours might merge, or you might...
Yeah, I've always struggled with colours anyway as part of my condition. So like blues and purples would get mixed up.
Right.
Greens, reds, browns, they kind of merge. So I can kind of think about it, but it's not great. All I see is kind of different strokes of grey now.
Wow.
Are there any things that you can't remember that you wish you could?
Yeah, probably. The thing that upsets me actually is more like I can remember vaguely what like family and friends' faces look like, but they've changed. That's more upsetting, is like how things have changed and how life has changed. I can't keep up with that. Everything's just sort of 10 years behind.
Yeah, that leads me perfectly onto this one. So when you picture yourself, when did you last see yourself?
Probably 15.
Wow. So when you picture yourself, do you see yourself as that 15? You do?
Yeah. But I've had like different styles, so I can go through the different styles in my head. Like I used to have like a really curly fringe. It was terrible. But I can picture that in my head, or I've had a quiff for a while, so I can picture that. But yeah, I'm like 13, 14, which is horrendous. And it's more traumatic than losing your vision.
You know your hair now is pretty much perfect.
I think because it's been like that though for so long.
Like
is that what you're aiming? That's what you're going to be like soon.
I just want to be you. But like honestly, like does it not just look incredible?
Oh. Yeah, it's styled perfectly.
Love that.
So you style it, don't
you?
Yeah. How do you know when you're like done getting ready?
I think my hair is like through design rather than choice. It's so easy for me. Like if I touch it, it feels pretty leveled out.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's not really much I have to do to that.
Yeah.
And also it's been like that for such a long time. It kind of just does it anyway. So if I changed my hair, I'd probably struggle a lot more to style it. Because I'm like, well, what does that look like?
Yeah. So are you just going to have this haircut forever?
I'm going to have to ditch it soon, aren't I?
Why?
I don't know. Well, I've already got a bit of a cucumber head. Right. It's
What's a cucumber head?
Thin. Like, it just looks like a cucumber. This doesn't help. So as my hairline gets worse, I'll just go down Stevie's route.
Yeah, just get an Alice band.
Another number.
Yeah, you didn't mean the Alice band. You meant the hair transplant.
I mean the hair transplant.
You definitely don't need it.
One day maybe. So yeah, I might have to change it eventually, but I think I'll just have a version of this that is like shorter and more like mature.
Your hair's better than mine, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Hell. I'm ginger, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I've never understood, by the way, is like ginger. I know, because to me it just looks blondish.
Right.
When I had vision, so I never understood the like hate.
Right.
So in my books, you're fine.
There is hate, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran's made it slightly cooler in recent years, and so did Paul Scholes for a while until that video came out of him sucking his daughter's toes. Yeah.
Don't follow in his footsteps.
What's one thing you miss seeing the most? That's quite a sad question.
It is a deep one, but I guess it's fair. Probably watching football. That's a big one. Such a big part of my life now. So watching football matches, and then I don't know, just like this can sound really wet and cliche, but like pretty views.
No,
like,
that's not cliche at all.
It's like, so I was saying earlier, out my window is a really nice view. Mm-hmm. Like I just wish I knew what that was. I understand what it is through words, but I just wish like I could wake up in the morning, sun's going across it, and I'm like, wow, like I'm really lucky to live here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what I miss.
Would you almost rather just be told that it is a brick wall? Because then you go, well, I'm not missing anything.
That would do.
So how for you? Can you explain to me how you watch football? How you perceive football now? Yeah.
Commentary helps, of course.
Yeah.
I prefer TV to radio because I love atmosphere. I love listening to the fans. I love the noise that they can make. So I'll always watch for TV. I've kind of learnt over the years what each crowd reaction means. So I know what a home crowd asking the ref for a free kick sounds like compared to the away crowd because they just sound different.
What is that? What, just noise levels then?
Noise levels and sometimes like ferocity. Like you have to know your teams. To be fair, like Liverpool fans are going to be slightly noisier than your Bournemouth fans.
Right.
And you just pick things out like that.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Man City and think you've accidentally got the TV on mute?
On mute, yeah. Or it's like COVID times again. Got the empty stands with the commentary. I went to in blind football, which I play. We'll get onto, I think.
Yeah.
All the crowd has to be silent. I was at a tournament the other week, and the crowd applauded a goal. I was like, oh, it's louder than me. Etihad boys, like wild, honestly.
You've mentioned your phone quite a lot.
Yeah.
How do you use it?
So a lot of all smartphones now come with accessibility features for, whether you're blind and you can't read the screen, or even if you're dyslexic and you really struggle to read. There's something on my iPhone called VoiceOver, which just reads everything on my screen, my emails, my TikTok comments, unfortunately. It's just madly modified for phones so that I can use it in a pretty normal way.
Are we all right to have a little look at that now?
Yeah.
Let's have a little
I turned it off because it will just start talking to me randomly, and I'm on Virgin Mobile, and the first thing it will read is the top left, so it just calls me a virgin.
Virgin. That's what Stevie's does, and he's not on it.
On voice. Surprised you didn't say no.
It's mobile.
Route 56 minutes ago. Toby added some 7. EV has added to their story. Waving hand. Attachment. One more.
So you might not really be able to understand it because it's quite fast.
Yeah.
So at the minute, I'm dragging my finger. That said tips, not tits. I'm dragging my finger over each
Contacts.
app.
Shortcuts. Fitness. Watch. Keynote. In iCloud.
And it's telling me everything. And if I double tap that, it will open the app. And then every bit of information in there will be read out to me.
As you hand jack your phone, there's a question we like to ask our guests normally, which is what's the most unusual app on your phone?
Probably still Tinder. I've got it there because I try and keep my stuff in order.
So, you've got Tinder on your phone?
Tinder and Bumble, because I had all these apps before I met Natalie. And I'd keep them in order just so I remember where all my apps are. So if I deleted them, the order would change.
Right.
So people always see that, they're like, oh, sneaky. It's like, I can't get away with anything. My phone reads everything out. I can't get away with jack shit.
Does being blind mean you don't use porn?
Well, if you would have opened up my Safari... No.
Hardcore porn.
So, I'm going to be as diplomatic in my answer as possible.
Okay.
So, no, I'm joking. So, you can get audio description,
Oh, that must be so strange.
which describes everything that's going on in immensely erotic detail.
Is it like what? Is it like a sexy voice, or is it like Siri going?
They try. If they try to be sexy, and it will say, as you can imagine, like, as much detail as possible.
Right.
Yeah, I won't repeat it, but you can imagine. Use your imaginations. I'm sure you've watched before.
Yeah. And a few times actually. But on the drive in. It's weird.
I don't use it. I find it weird. I don't like it.
Another sad one, I think, or a deep one. What's one thing you'd love to see that you never have?
Oh, that's a great question. For some reason, like these really impressive, like man-made things, like the Burj Khalifa or like the Shard, it was built after Osman Vision.
Yeah.
Or like around the time I was losing it. Never seen them. I mean, obviously that's not like a great answer.
No, it is because you have no concept of the scale of it.
Yeah, like, it's not impressive in my head. Whereas obviously it's like madly impressive. There's probably like things like I love like big ocean life, like sharks and whales and things like that. I love learning about them. Never been like to see them in person or anything like that. I guess things like just things I'm interested in that have meaning. Champions League final goal that Havertz scored. Never saw it.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, mate. Don't worry about it. It's for Chelsea, so
just things like that. I guess things that I miss out on that other people like talk about.
Toby, does being blind hurt?
Yes, yeah, it can do. Which like even now while I'm sat here, like I'm in, I've travelled quite a lot, so I've been thinking a lot. That means my brain's been working, and my eyes get tired from that. So the back of my eyes now are like on fire.
Are they?
They ache like shit. which is really annoying because you'd think if your eyes don't work, they just fucking leave you alone.
Yeah.
But they don't. They honestly, like, I blink a lot because they get really dry. So the front of my eyes feel dry. The back of my eyes are stabby, achy pains. And that's pretty constant. All I've known for sort of 20, 21 years is just ache in the eye.
Fucking hell.
Shit. But you just get used to it.
Yeah.
And you can be like really susceptible to migraines as well. Whether you've had like a long stressful day or you may have caught the sun in your eye. If you're sensitive to light like me, it can just cause migraines.
Do you find scary movies more scary or less scary?
I hate the music building up and I hate the loud noise. That's what my brain now like sees horror film as. Like, when something's happening, it all builds up and then jump scare, whatever.
Yeah.
I hate that. Prime example is Woman in Black, right? I can't stand it because there's so many jump scares in it. And like you just get on edge with that. It's coming, but like it still shits you out for some reason. Like that something scary is gonna pop up on the screen, you're gonna see it and it's gonna be like, whatever.
Right.
But like with me, it's obviously that auditory part of it. So yeah, they are still scary, but obviously not. Like I can't appreciate it as much, I guess.
This is probably an ignorant question.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy films still now?
Not as much.
Right.
Really. I mean, it's got audio description, like we were saying about.
Yeah.
Which in sex scenes is hilarious. Class. Honestly. But yeah, I mean, I don't enjoy. I'd rather. It's going to sound like I'm licking your ass. I'd rather put on a podcast.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And listen to people talking and actually, like, the whole point is just talking. There's no visual aspect to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, try and make it look as nice as possible, but that's not the point of a podcast.
No. Yeah.
So
I wish you'd have told me that before I spent this money on a new set, Toby. I wouldn't have fucking bothered.
Bills are rising, mate. Just turn it all off. Just sit in the dark, mate.